Hi, I'm Nick Mehta, CEO of Gainsight, and I'm super excited to do the next episode of Metaphysical Musings, where we feature amazing executives from customer success and other parts of the SaaS world to really talk about customer centricity and doing it at scale. I'm really thrilled, totally fired up to welcome this week's guest. Manjula Talreja is a Chief Customer Officer at PagerDuty. And many of you know PagerDuty. It's an incredible company. We use it at Gainsight. So we're very, very much run our operations on it, and really helps power operations for thousands of companies across the world and keep things up and running. I'll let Manjula describe it in more detail. It's great to see you here. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And it's always lovely to chat with you. I love your energy too, Nick.
We match it. We match it. I love it.
I know.
You have an incredible background at some storied companies, HP, Cisco, Salesforce. You and I connected first when you were at Cisco, going to Salesforce. And obviously Salesforce is such a pioneer in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I always love to open up with a personal question first. So it's summertime, so what's your favorite summertime activity or memory? Yeah, memory, either one.
Let me talk about memory, because to me, summertime is, I want the temperature to be 80, 81, or 82 degrees. That's the perfect temperature for me. Now, today is that day, but the earth is getting warmer. But in my childhood, I grew up in New Delhi. And then in the summer, especially in June, it used to be like 120 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
So I associate summer with either the mountains or the ocean. And my fond memories are going up to the Himalayas in the summers. And we did that when I was like between the age of 8 and 14. Every summer, my family used to go up to the mountains. I just love the Himalayas. And one particular year, we went to a place called Kulu Manali up in the mountains where the Bias River is beautiful. But why do I remember that so well? Is because we went hiking in deeper into the mountains where there was still snow in a place called Rohtang Pass. And it was my first time I saw snow to that quantity.
Wow.
And along with the snow, there were hills full of flowers, wildflowers. And it was spectacular. So my fondest memory is, of course, the mountains, the Himalayas. And just this March, I went up to the Himalayas too. And I saw these rhododendrons, red rhododendrons in bloom. And so to me, it's about flowers in the mountains and my fond memories when I was young.
That is such an incredible description. I think all of us can kind of feel that we're there. And one of my dreams, by the way, is to go to the Himalayas and maybe climb some mountains, probably not Everest. Definitely couldn't do that, but maybe climb some of the smaller mountains and, maybe we'll meet there. So until then, though, we're going to talk about customer success. And I think one of the really interesting things, you've worked at some amazing companies, but you've had really varied roles, IT, consulting, business transformation. When you think about kind of your career and how it led you to be Chief Customer Officer, talk about how that fit together.
Yeah, I started my career in IT. And the early days, I joined Cisco and it was only 500 million. I left Cisco and it was 50 billion.
Wow.
I started my career in IT and I loved IT. But here's what happened to me. That passion for customers started when I was in IT. I was at the crux of building the first e-commerce when internet became very commercial and e-commerce got really at the heart of how businesses were running. We built the first e-commerce site for B2B in the world at Cisco.
Wow.
And I was at the heart of it. And at that time, I was being pinged all the time in the executive briefings, literally every day, by a customer. How did you do it? What is the best practice? And that's when I really discovered my passion for spending time with customers. That's what got me excited. And at that time, I decided to leave IT in the late 1990s. I'm old, late 1990s.
Me too.
And went in the year 2000 when the big bust happened. I moved to strategy consulting, then went to engineering, because here is where I was in the quest to build general management skills and customer centricity together. And you think about what is a chief customer officer? We're running a P&L, we're a general manager, And we're focused on the voice of the customer and customer centricity. And the person who really understood this and gave me a break of my lifetime was actually your and my friend, Maria Martinez.
Yes,
When
right.
I left Cisco, went to Salesforce, and she realized how rich my background was to be an SVP of customer success at Salesforce. And then I rounded off with really learning from the masters of Maria and Mark on what is customer success, a SaaS company. And between my general management experience and what I did at Salesforce got me to where I am today.
I love that. I mean, such an interesting connection of different function, kind of functional responsibility, but with this theme of getting more close to the customer. And also, I think it's inspiring because when you think about Chief Customer Officer, it truly is a general manager role. And you've seen that folks from your kind of seat have elevated to Chief Operating Officer, in some cases CEO. And I think we'll be fascinated to follow, where you go. So along the way, one of the big things that we are all dealing with this year, especially, is efficiency. We all want to get more profitable, improve our Rule of 40 score. Obviously, PagerDuty is doing amazing things in that. Talk about how you're using automation and sort of process, data science to drive efficiency when your team.
You are so right. This is so true. Profitable growth is the mantra today in the market.
Yes, it's very popular.
Every company is expected to deliver both growth and operating margins. And to exactly your point, whether we call it efficiency, whether we call it Rule of 40, do more with less, it's about profitable growth, right? Here's the additional complexity for us as CCOs. So all CXOs are focused on efficiency. We CCOs have to also focus on customer experience.
Absolutely.
So we have to drive efficiency, not only within each of the functions in our organizations like success, professional services, support, but we also have to knit them together so that you're providing the best of class experience and yet a lower cost to serve.
Right.
And you and I talked about efficiency quite a bit when you hosted us for dinner a few weeks ago. And we talked about outsourcing, offshoring, but automation is so much at the heart of it.
Yeah.
So Nick, as a result of automation within my team, we are already saving $1 million a year.
Wow.
Yep. And before I get into some of those use cases, you touched on that we at PagerDuty are at such a forefront on automation, Gen AI.
Yes.
So let me step back before I talk about some of those use cases and how we are saving so much. I want to speak about PagerDuty and how PagerDuty started where it is right now, because we're using PagerDuty technology to do what we are in our organization.
Right.
We started PagerDuty in engineering with DevOps transformation, increasing uptime of digital transformation, digital platforms, and matured it to Operations Cloud across not only engineering, but IT and customer success, which is close to our heart. And our goal is to reduce the natural unpredictability of disruptions of customers' digital platform by not swarming to get the right person, but to solve the problem and bring support organizations that are sitting in your and my organization, listening to the voice of the customer so that we can manage those customer disruptions with the impact and where seconds matter. So here at PagerDuty, what we are doing internally using that technology is using CSOps, which is our solution for the customer success team, to deliver support responses to meet the SLA.
Yep.
But here's what's interesting. If an incident occurs, we are within 5 minutes able to mobilize the right engineering responders. It allows us to access, impact, and communicate within 5 minutes.
That's awesome. Wow.
So let's talk about that whole automation piece in terms of use cases that add up to that $1 million of efficiency. So we at PagerDuty have been doing AI and ML, machine learning, for years.
Yes, totally.
And we acquired companies like Rundeck and Catalytic to round off our automation portfolio. So let me give you a few examples of what we are doing within my organization. So for premium support, the customer expects us, if they're a premium support customer, they want to know every month, are we meeting at their SLAs? And it used to take hours to pull out different And you talked about different tools
Yep.
to pull out this data from different tools. What we've done is we've automated it. And we are saving 2 hours per customer to drive 130K savings per year just with that use case in our support organization.
Amazing. Wow.
Other functions, we've streamlined the customer success professional services interlock. So when a new project starts and we have closed a deal, the kickoff communication to new customer onboarding is automated.
That's awesome.
We've automated QBR decks. We've automated parts of the sandbox creation when the customer is requiring that, when a new customer has initiated a sandbox they want. And we are identifying, using automation to identify the right success engineer to set up the new customer as fast as possible with a fast start. And all these savings are hundreds of hours in research, operational alignment, and prep time. And it's not just about customer experience, but think about the amount of toil we are reducing for our employees.
Totally.
So it's customer experience and employees experience.
Nobody likes preparing that data manually, right? That's, I mean,
Exactly.
so well said.
Exactly. And they want to do they want to do a higher level job.
Absolutely.
They don't want to do that mundane. Let me build that report every single month.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
Lots and lots of opportunity. Our journey just begun.
Yeah. Well, I think that one of the things I'd highly recommend is if you want to go deeper on all these amazing things PagerDuty is basically doing to automate, to leverage data science, really to deliver, as you said, a better customer experience in that process. Check out Manjula's presentation at Pulse 2023. We actually have all those presentations live on the web, pulselibrary.gainsight.com. That's pulselibrary.gainsight.com. I highly encourage you to see this one. I've watched it. It's incredible. Obviously, very high energy, but also just like this conversation, packed with best practices and advice. So definitely check it out. And obviously, probably send Manjula, best way to contact you, LinkedIn, probably, I'm guessing.
Yeah, LinkedIn is the way to reach out to me.
You're so
Absolutely.
kind in terms of helping other people and just giving this
you.
information to the community. So let me close out with a lightning round. So I'll ask you 3 questions. You give me the first word that comes to mind. So customer.
Champion the customer.
Champion.
That's a core value for PagerDuty. And there is so much research that shows that if you're championing the customer and you're driving customer centricity, it has a direct impact on your revenue.
So well said. I love that word champion. That's such a different word than just support or empathetic. It's truly proactive. Human. What's that word mean to you?
Empathy.
Empathy.
Both for the customer and the employees.
And the team, right? I love the employee experience. It's so important.
As is customer experience. Can you imagine marrying the both with empathy?
It's amazing. I can imagine it because you're doing it. And then automation, so big for you. What comes to mind?
Reducing toil. Allowing teams to do more strategic work rather than the same old job.
See, you've used some very powerful words today. Toil, champion. It's just empathy. You're using these words to capture the real empathy and emotion. And it's so important. And I can see that in the way you lead. Everyone's incredibly lucky to watch this, most notably me. So thank you for that. Obviously, you want to learn more, go to pulselibrary.gainsight.com. Check out Manjula's presentation. And if you want to keep the conversation going, come and actually want to visit Amsterdam, which is a very fun city. Come to Amsterdam November 15th to 16th. We're doing Pulse Europe there. It's going to be a great party, a great time. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much, Manjula. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Nick. It was really a pleasure. And I'm so excited about just moving beyond automation to Gen AI, where we are doing amazing stuff too. So more to come.
Amazing. Awesome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.